Yes, thank you, Jason. Looking forward to you with Mark for 606 later as well, by the way, after this match finishes. But welcome everyone to St James's Park. We're going to witness something that's never happened here before tonight. A 7:45 kick-off on a Saturday night for a league match here at St James's Park. And in this Premier League title race, it's all coming to the crunch now. A total of only 4 matches left between them for Liverpool and Manchester City in this battle for the title. And tonight they start both having played 36 points. Manchester City with 92 points and Liverpool 1 point behind with 91. The teams are just about set for kick-off. Let me run you through the teams in full. Newcastle, Dubravka, Cher, Lascelles and Dummett, Manquillo and Ritchie, the wing-backs, Key and Hayden, Perez, Atsu and Rondon. And it is Newcastle in the black and white striped shirts that get us underway here on this cold May night on Tyneside. Blue skies above, but it is very cold. And the ball's out for a throw-in to Liverpool, who have Alisson in goal. A back four of Alexander-Arnold, Lovren, Van Dijk and Robertson. Fabinho with Henderson and Wijnaldum in midfield. And then Salah, Mane and Daniel Sturridge coming in for the absent Firmino, or at least in terms of where he would be playing. Of course, Wijnaldum played there the other night, Mark.
Yeah, didn't quite work that, I think. I think the interesting thing tonight as well, a lot of the teams in the league when they played Liverpool have never really stopped the 2 Liverpool fullbacks coming forward. I'm pretty sure that Rafa will have a plan to stop them coming forward tonight.
Yeah, I saw the 2 managers, Liverpool past and present, greeting each other just down in front of us here before the match began. And here's Henderson, who's caught in possession on the halfway line. Rondon immediately gives the ball out to Atsu. Atsu goes for an early ball into the penalty area, but Alisson's able to come and pick it up. I think as well, Mark, tonight, so important to see how Liverpool are after everything they put into Wednesday night in Barcelona. Here they are, Barcelona on Wednesday, Jordi Land on Saturday night. And I mentioned the fact that this game's been played on a Saturday night because I think that is significant, because many thousands of the people who are now inside the ground, I think, might have spent the day, shall we say, building up to this match tonight in the nearby city centre.
What are you trying to say?
They'll be in good spirits. Here's Alexander-Arnold on the halfway line. Liverpool are playing from left to right in the first half, attacking the Gallagate end. Ball up towards Salah, but Dummett comes across and heads it out of play. Just down to our right, someone in the crowd throws the ball way above the head of the little ball boy, and it bounces onto the field for Alexander-Arnold. Joe Gomez played at right back on Wednesday night, but Alexander-Arnold, with all of his assists, is back for this one, and Gomez is on the bench. Here's Robertson on the far side. Back it comes to the PFA Player of the Year, Van Dijk. Now Lovren strokes it here to the right-hand side. Liverpool all in red with the white numbers. Ball chipped forward by Alexander-Arnold, but straight out of play for a throw-in to Newcastle. Mark Lawrenson's here with us, former Liverpool European Cup winner, multiple league title winner, watching Newcastle with a throw-in inside their own half.
Yeah, and I think straight away they're trying to hurry Liverpool, aren't they? Certainly across the midfield, Newcastle.
Ball up towards Salomon Rondon, who's been named as Newcastle's Player of the Year. Long ball forward, Dummett is able to head it back into the Liverpool half. Keane heads it down. Keane with a flick over Atsu, and Alexander-Arnold should deal with that. And it is planted up into the media seats to our left here. Our friends from Sweden, I think, got a touch on that. And he's having a little.
It wasn't a good touch.
No, well, he punched it. That's Glenn, who used to play for Sweden, played at the World Cup. There's a regular figure that we see all around Europe covering the matches.
Obviously not a goalkeeper.
No, he wasn't. I think he was a central defender. Ball is played back towards Dummett from the throw-in. Dummett all the way back to Lascelles, who missed the game last week. The 1-1 draw at Brighton was unwell. Newcastle in good form. 2 wins and a draw in their last 3 matches. Here's a long one for Rondon to chase. Alexander-Arnold got there first. The 2 of them sprinting into the full-back position. And Lovren hoists it out of play for a throw to Newcastle.
I think you'll see a lot of that, John. The ball at the back, Newcastle play long ball up to Rondon to cause problems.
Ritchie looking to whip it in, but Henderson very quickly across. The former Sunderland man, Henderson, blocks it out of play for a throw into Newcastle. Excellent atmosphere. Liverpool fans in their thousands are way up high in the Leazes end to our left, in the top tier. Throw in. Henderson to take it. They've remembered. He's been booed now. the ex-Sunderland man, Sunderland born, of course. Ball back towards Van Dijk, just in front of the penalty area. Here's Jurgen Klopp now arriving on the edge of the coaching area, the usual garb, the grey and black and the orangey-red trainers, and Alexander-Arnold playing the ball back to Lovren in front of his penalty area.
Very compact Newcastle, aren't they? I mean, Rondon's the first man in terms of engagement, and all the other 9 are just sat in position.
Liverpool beat Newcastle 4-0 at Anfield on Boxing Day. Not sure it'll be 4-0 tonight, as Dummett is forced to concede a throw which Henderson takes. Salah looks to head it on into the penalty area, but Cher misses his clearance. Salah pokes it back. Robertson on the left hand side, back it comes to Fabinho. Now Salah in a central position. Salah's ball bounces back to him on the edge of the box, but then the final line of defence is Manquillo, who's able to clear it out here towards the halfway line. But we know that Rafa Benitez's team can be difficult to break down, and Manchester City found that out to their cost here in January when they took the lead early on in the match, but Newcastle beat them. Manchester City will be listening and watching on intently here. 0-0, very early stages. BBC Radio 5 Live. Alexander-Arnold playing it into the centre circle to Fabinho, who just touches it back to Van Dijk, who's in space and able to roll the ball out towards the left-hand side, the far side. Robertson back in field. Fabinho is going to hit a long pass, 40 yards, out to Alexander-Arnold. Ritchie was in quickly, gets his head to it to nod it out of play. Clatters into the advertising hoardings, just down here to our right, but he's okay. And Alexander-Arnold's going to take the throw, which he does now to Fabinho. Back to Alexander-Arnold, who goes back into the centre circle again.
Doing well, Newcastle, so far. They're just forcing Liverpool backwards. The line of fine's already in situ, and I think straight away, when anyone gets the ball in the Liverpool midfield, just black and white shirts are at them very, very quickly.
Klopp will have warned them about this, though. Liverpool will have expected this in every sense. Alexander-Arnold curling the ball to the edge of the penalty area. Lascelles heads it away. It's put back in by Sturridge, but Salah was beaten to it, and the ball is cleared out of play just in front of us here. Rafa Benitez, he is in talks over his new contract, or a possible new contract, but it is also possible that this might be his last match as the Newcastle United manager here at St James's Park. Alexander-Arnold sends it forward towards Mane, who is straight offside, and it's a free kick to Newcastle. Jordan Henderson being booed because he looked the play on there.
I reckon he'll sign another contract, Benitez.
I would agree with you, Mark.
Yeah.
There have been times this season when that looked certainly unlikely, possibly even highly unlikely. But as I always say, if you are Rafa Benitez, who's 59 years old now, he is at a club here where he is absolutely adored. And okay, sometimes things aren't as he wishes they would be, but he has such support from the supporters.
It's a massive thing.
I think it is.
So you just look at managers who lose 2 games, and all of a sudden the pressure's on. That's not quite the same with him here, is it?
No. Alexander-Arnold throwing it to Mane. It bounces to Wijnaldum. Now this could open up for Liverpool. Robertson receives it on the left hand side. Robertson speeding into the penalty area now. The defence is there from Manquillo, who blocks the cross, and it doesn't fall to Robertson, and Newcastle are able to clear it away, but it opened up there for Liverpool, and they weren't able to craft an effort on goal. Salah flipping it through into the area. Alexander-Arnold pulls it across. It's stopped on the edge of the box by Hayden, who's able to control and play it up towards the burly Rondon. Absolutely massive forearms and biceps.
Massive everything.
Shoulders. Here's Mane now in from the left-hand side. Ball played by Sturridge. Mane again inside the penalty area, and the two of them, both Mane and Manquillo, go down together. Mane stays down on his back.
I think he was caught, John, by a high boot.
Referee Mariner is going to stop play just in case he has taken a bang on the head.
I think he has. Granted, he sort of put his head down a little bit, but there's also a foot up. It's one of those, isn't it? And well done to him, he's got up and got on with it.
Yeah, he's on his feet now, and he seems okay.
Henderson slaughtering the referee, obviously saying we think we should have had a penalty.
We're just getting another chance to see it now as Mane takes it in the area. It's a high foot.
It was a high foot.
And I mean, the two of them were. They've got a case there.
I think so.
Yeah, he jumped off as Mane stooped down.
Yes,
Manquillo jumped
up with his leg
leg in the air.
Yeah,
and possibly the fact that Mane stooped down as he did, it counted against him.
Probably just gave Newcastle benefit of the doubt, I think.
Yeah. Newcastle United 0, Liverpool 0 on this Saturday night, this penultimate Saturday night of this Premier League season. The night that Cardiff have been relegated. Their relegation was confirmed by Crystal Palace's 3-2 win away from home. So Brighton are safe, and Cardiff will be going down at the end of the season after just one season back. And I'm sure we'll have reaction from Cardiff City at half-time in this match, and indeed on all of the events that have unfolded over the course of the last couple of hours in League 2 as well. In League 1, I beg your pardon, where Luton are the champions and Barnsley are promoted to the Championship as well. And Liverpool playing the ball away from the back up towards Sturridge. Sturridge wriggling away from Key and then hitting a long ball low across the ground to Mane, who catches it now in the full-back position, and Mane is into the box now. The challenge comes in on him from Schär, and that's excellent from the Swiss international, but he's gone and given it away to Wijnaldum on the edge of the area. And here's the cross from Robertson, and there's Salah with a header, back to Salah, who shoots wide on his left foot at the back post.
It's a great ball in, from left. I'm not sure what happened to Salah initially when the ball came in. He looked like he could have just headed it back across the goalkeeper, and I don't think he got a particularly good contact on it.
I think he headed it into the defender, bounced back to him, and then he dragged it wide from the other corner of the 6-yard box.
Yeah, I think he might have headed it down onto his own chest, and obviously the ball bounced from him. He just caught it wrong, didn't he? But Newcastle have struggled to stop Robertson already, haven't they? He's just bombing down that left-hand side.
Newcastle United 0, Liverpool 0. Mark Lawrenson with us. Just wondering, Mark, you'll have many times, we'll come back to that, because here's Sturridge now. Sturridge, middle of the half, swings a high pass out onto the chest of Salah, and then in comes Ritchie with a challenge to deflect it out of play for a throw into Liverpool down the right. Big European nights that haven't gone your way. You're involved in a big league match at the weekend, and just how, when it's at this stage of the season, that you have to deal with that as a player.
Two things: winning and winning. That's all that matters. You forget about any performance, you basically become a sausage machine and just keep churning them out.
Newcastle 0-0 with Liverpool, and here's Robertson, who plays it towards the edge of the area. Wijnaldum now to the left hand side. Mane lifts over the cross for Salah, who's able to chest it down, but then the challenge comes in on him from Ritchie as he was looking to shoot, and he shot into the chest of Ritchie, which deflected it high over the crossbar into the Gallagher end. Corner Liverpool.
Ritchie's playing as a left back, isn't he? Absolute total left back.
Corner for Alexander-Arnold to take. Just pulls up his left red sock up towards his knee. Most of the players grouped towards the back of the Pandera. In it comes Van Dijk with a header, down and in, and Dubravka says, where were you? He was all alone. Van Dijk to arrive and head it down. It bounced up into the net, and Liverpool have got the early goal that they wanted here at St James's Park. It's Newcastle United 0, Liverpool 1.
Well, he just had a free run, a free header. I can't even see if actually anybody blocked his marker off. He was in the middle of the 6-yard box when he connected with his head. Great ball in from Alexander-Arnold, but the simplest attacks. Chances for Van Dijk to score from.
Well, last time you and I sat and watched Liverpool, we were in Munich, weren't we, together?
We were.
And Van Dijk scored a really important goal for them that night. And there he is now, the PFA Player of the Year, scoring his 6th goal for Liverpool this season. And that, well, if you could ask Jurgen Klopp, what did he most want tonight? Probably a goal in the first 15 minutes, and they've got it.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, what did Newcastle do?
I mean, there were all sorts of... the players, as I mentioned, most of the players were at the back post there as the corner was being taken, and I noticed at least a couple of Newcastle players went to ground, but Van Dijk dominated it really, and he made it his, and he scored the goal. and Liverpool are leading here by 1-0.
Well, it was just completely unmarked, John, wasn't it? It was just a free run. It was just a case then of eyes on the ball, making a good connection, and it was always going to go in.
The goal scored in the 13th minute. Here's a long one for Perez to chase. I don't think I've said his name yet, Perez, as Alisson looked to just see it behind, and Perez cannoned into the back of him, and the ball rolled behind, and it's a goal kick.
No. He was unlucky actually, because when the ball was first played by the right back, you think he had no chance of getting there, but he almost did.
As I mentioned, Manchester City took the lead here in January with an early goal, very early goal that night, was in the first minute, and Newcastle won the game. So Liverpool cannot take anything for granted with the fact that they've got their noses in front. Robertson now down the left hand side, and then Henderson flicks it, did well. Robertson keeps it in on the left wing. He's up against Manquillo. He goes for an early ball across to Sturridge. Sturridge now back into the penalty area. Mane got a heavy touch and it ran through to Dubravka.
Yeah, heavy left-footed touch, wasn't it? I think obviously on his right, outside of his right boot, would have had one touch and maybe had a shot at goal. But I really look at Newcastle and just, you know, from a tactical point of view, they have to stop Robertson getting forward. He's just completely bombing down the left-hand side, and he's just sprinting past anybody and causing all sorts of problems.
And again, a bit like Liverpool, knowing how Newcastle would approach it, Rafa Benitez will have known that Liverpool would have approached it like that, as Perez takes the ball into the penalty area on the right-hand side, but Robertson defensively this time is able to get the ball away, and then he's caught, Robertson, by Perez, who's claiming that he was fouled. But it's a foul and a free kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Klopp issuing some orders to Salah. I think the goal was coming, wasn't it? They'd had a couple of half chances.
Yeah, with that threat from... But in fact, it was Alexander-Arnold, and that's another assist for him. What is that? 12 assists this season. 10 in the Premier League for the right back. And that is 8 assists in his last 12 appearances. They are quite something, aren't they, those two?
Oh, they're frightening, aren't they, when you consider.
Here's Lovren, plays it across to Alexander-Arnold. Now here's Fabinho to Henderson, who's inside his own half, plays it across to Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum now rolls it out towards the left-hand side, and again Robertson's in space with the Newcastle defence just backing off him, but he goes infield towards Wijnaldum. We have now played 16 minutes. 1-0 to Liverpool on this Saturday night. Quite a cold wind swirling around the stadium as well. The flags on the far side, on the top of the stand, flipping away as Van Dijk sends a high ball into the penalty area, and it's prodded behind by Salah, who I think he was in two minds there what to do with it. He was looking for Mane in the middle, but just sent it straight behind.
Yeah, and he had his eyes on trying to control the ball. I'm just looking at Perez, and he's kind of playing on the right in terms of attacking for Newcastle, but he's certainly not been chasing Robertson back, has he?
Not at all. As Newcastle take a goal kick that doesn't go out of the penalty area, and referee Mariner will have them take it again. Mane pops it into the net, so Dubravka has to walk back and place it on the edge of the 6-yard area. So it is 1-0 to Liverpool. Sure, if you're at those League One matches, you might well be listening to us on the way home. There is a 6:06 after this match tonight. Mentioned Luton champions confirmed today. Barnsley promoted to the Championship. The playoffs will be Doncaster against Charlton and Sunderland against Portsmouth. And we now know that Plymouth, Walsall and Scunthorpe, their relegation was confirmed today. And well done to Manchester City, winners of the Women's FA Cup final in our earlier commentary this evening. 3-0 against West Ham, quite comfortable in the end it sounded, with Vicky Sparks and Karen Carney. Henderson and Mane running into one another near the centre circle, but Alexander-Arnold's able to lift it out towards the left-hand side. And now Wijnaldum back to Fabinho. Liverpool dominating possession. Most of the match has been played inside the Newcastle half. And now Van Dijk, the goal scorer, pops it back into Newcastle territory. Wijnaldum across here to Henderson, who's quite a deep-lying position, and Henderson goes back into his own half.
You can't tell Liverpool have been Barcelona on Wednesday, can you?
No.
It's like they've had 3 months off and they're raring to go.
Yeah. But as you said, you know, the motivation is to win the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
What percentage chance do you give them on Tuesday night against Barcelona?
20.
As much as that. Here's Lovren playing it across to Alisson, who's going to keep it in on the far side, and on his left foot Plays it out to Wijnaldum, who plays it back to Fabinho, who's got two Newcastle players trying to win the ball back, Atsu and Rondon, but Fabinho was able to recover and strike it away right-footed to the halfway line.
If they manage to pull that back on Tuesday, John, that would be the best European performance and result ever. Ever.
Better than Istanbul.
Yes.
Here's Key back to Cher, and then forward to Perez, who's going to run from a little deeper. In fact, Fabinho comes across, so he gives it to Manquillo on the far side. Manquillo back to Perez. 5 goals in his last 3 appearances, Perez. Manquillo with a cross. Rondon misses his header. Richie at the back post, drives it across. Rondon blocked on the line, but then it's in. Atsu equalises for Newcastle inside the 6-yard box, and Liverpool are pegged back here by really Newcastle's first meaningful attack. Newcastle equalised, 20 minutes played, 1-1.
Yeah, right-footed cross from the right, no pressure on the crosser either, and when the ball came across, eventually Richie, I think at first he kind of thought, crikey, he wasn't expecting it, and in the end I think it was Alexander-Arnold on the line who made the block, and then the easiest of tap-ins. That's the first real attack that Newcastle have had.
Christian Atsu going absolutely crazy. He hasn't scored a goal since 2017, which perhaps explains that. But Christian Atsu and Liverpool, who have, well, they've dominated the game, they find themselves 1-1 after 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was Robertson just let the crosser cross the ball, and that caused Liverpool all the problems.
Manquillo's ball across. I think Robertson. I think Alexander-Arnold kept it out on the line.
Well, he had the header as well at first.
He kept it out with his arm.
Yeah. Well, he'd have gone, wouldn't he?
He would have been sent off.
Yeah.
That actually is a let-off for Liverpool. The fact that Rondon's shot struck Alexander-Arnold on the elbow, the outstretched arm on the elbow, that stopped it going in the net, but it bounced straight to Atsu, who put it in, and therefore goal stands and Alexander-Arnold escapes.
Yeah. And it was a deliberate handball, or elbow, whatever you want to call it. It was deliberate. He would have walked.
Liverpool could have been down to 10 men. But strangely, Atsu's goal saves him. Here is Rondon, who heads it in field. With VAR, he would be sent off.
Yeah. And rightly so.
Yeah. So it is 1-1. Newcastle 1, Liverpool 1. And we've talked a number of times in recent weeks about how the margins have been so fine. You know, the goals that Manchester City, well, the goal that Aguero scored last week, matter of millimetres. The goal line save from Stones, a matter of millimetres. But this year, the fact that Alexander-Arnold, who's on the ball now, is still on the field, could turn out to be a big break for Liverpool here tonight, even though they've conceded the equaliser. Henderson loses possession, and here is Newcastle's goal scorer, Atsu, who's chopped down by Henderson. And
the referee said no at first,
and then gives the free kick.
And then gives the free kick after Newcastle had given the ball away.
Well, it was a foul.
Yeah, he was all at sea, wasn't he, Mariner?
Oh, I've missed those.
Listen, it's very interesting. Once Liverpool scored, Rafa went back into his little dugout, and all of a sudden, as soon as Newcastle scored, guess who came out the dugout?
Dummett plays it forward to Rondon on the edge of the box. Rondon is going to play it back to Richie. Richie now with a cross towards the back post. Robertson was eased out of the way. It's headed back across into the arms of Alisson, who drops on it. The header from the arriving Manquillo at the back post. Liverpool are really being tested here now, and the noise that's coming out of the Gallowgate end to our right. The game's changed.
Well, because Newcastle have changed. Newcastle are actually having a go for it. Yes, they're playing long from back to front and getting people all around Rondon. It's all about Rondon. If he goes up for a header or tries to flick stuff off or holds it up, and then it's up to midfield players to join him very quickly. Klopp's going nuts down here as well.
What were you going to say when Benitez went in?
Yeah, he went in, and then once he scored, he was back out, wasn't he? Had the old kind of tactics board out and everything. Don't you just love it?
He's never beaten Liverpool in a league match as the manager. in 5 previous matches.
He must have had a couple of draws now.
Oh yeah.
Kel surprise.
Liverpool. Normal service now seems to have been resumed after that flurry of activity. Van Dijk giving Liverpool the lead with a header in the 13th minute. Christian Atsu equalising in the 20th. Fabinho feels that he was fouled by Hayden. He was. It's a free kick, and Hayden's going to get a ticking off from referee Mariner.
Yeah.
Liverpool playing it up towards Mane on the edge of the box, who's challenged by Cher, and the ball runs away through. I'm not sure either of them got a touch, but it's kept in by Dubravka.
I'll tell you what,
Mane stayed down.
What was Mane supposed to do with that? It was fired at his head, and he was on the run.
Cher, crossfield pass. Ritchie had to stand right on the white line and head it infield and back to Dummett in his own half. Key preferred to Shelvey today, who doesn't start against one of his former clubs. He's on the bench. Cher's ball forward, bounces to Perez. This could be something for Newcastle again. Perez holds off Robertson, gives it back to Hayden, but Wijnaldum is in to challenge and win the ball back. And then it's won back by Cher for Newcastle. Hayden, then back to the halfway line. And now long and forward towards Atsu on the edge of the box, headed away by Lovren. Here's Perez in the box, shoots, hits the crossbar, and it bounces back into the penalty area on the left hand side. Rondon forced out into the full-back position. That could have been 2-1 Newcastle so easily. Still 1-1. Dummett to Ritchie, now back to Key, who's going to shoot. That had wobble on it, but it was close enough to Alisson to gather it into his chest.
The first thing is, John, this has turned into a cup tie. It's great. And what about Perez's touch? His second touch was absolutely brilliant. But what they've done is Newcastle, they're getting midfield players arriving late in the box at speed, and it's really unhinging Liverpool defensively.
It's funny, isn't it? The first 15-16 minutes or so, during which time Liverpool took the lead, Newcastle so passive, and then suddenly a total change of approach from them, in which the time they've scored their goal.
It's like somebody's flicked a switch for them.
Rafa flicking the switch.
Oh yes.
And it's Newcastle 1, Liverpool 1. Still early days, but Manchester City will be liking this. Manchester City, Leicester City on Monday night. We'll keep you fully updated on that match during the Monday Night Club. Here's Fabinho over the top down the right hand side for Salah to chase. Ritchie comes across and he volleys the ball halfway up the lower tier of the stand to our right.
He's doing a really good job, Ritchie.
Salah just pats the ball back to Alexander-Arnold to take this throw in, just about level with the edge of the Newcastle penalty area. Throw in taken to Sturridge, and Sturridge holding it up, back heels it via a deflection. Alexander-Arnold swings the ball across, Salah turns it in. Oh, lovely deft finish from Mohamed Salah to put Liverpool back in front. Another delivery from Alexander-Arnold. Great finish from Salah. And it's Newcastle 1, Liverpool 2, and Salah makes it 26 goals for him for Liverpool this season, 22 in the Premier League.
Wow, this cross was just an invitation for Salah, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Whipped with his right foot, curling right into Salah, who's, you're right, his touch, because it was his right foot, was very, very delicate, but very, very good.
Probably about maybe 7-8 yards out, Salah just watched it drop onto his right instep, and the shot was tucked low, and Dubravka diving down to his right couldn't get there.
And by the way, Sturridge did brilliantly because he backheeled it into the path of Trent Alexander-Arnold. But it was a super finish, wasn't it? Because he's got to keep his eye on the ball, and he just basically almost like helped it round the corner, and it was good enough to beat the goalkeeper. I think it's kicked off a bit behind us, by the way. I think there've been some Liverpool fans obviously involved.
That's actually the director's box behind us as well. So clearly, high stakes. Liverpool need to win this match.
Yeah.
The title is potentially on the line.
Yeah.
And some of those Liverpool fans, obviously in the director's box behind us, couldn't hide their excitement.
No, need to sit on their hands.
Newcastle United 1, Liverpool 2 is now the score. As Van Dijk has to come across and clear the ball in front of Atsu. Comes back to Alexander-Arnold, who's now set up both goals for Liverpool in this match. Perez gives it away to Wijnaldum, and now back to Mane, and then Mane back to Robertson. That second Liverpool goal coming in the 28th minute from Mohamed Salah.
Just shows you what real quality crosses make, doesn't it? When defenders are on the half turn, it makes all the difference.
Robertson going back to Wijnaldum. For Salah, that's 6 goals in his last 8 appearances, finishing the season strongly.
He's had a bad season as well.
Yes. Not in contention for the big awards this time, but he's the leading scorer in the Premier League. Now he knows how Aguero feels.
Yeah.
Here's Salah, who's challenged and goes down, holding his lower left leg, possibly his ankle, and then also there's a foul on Fabinho. But Salah, this is a concern. I think I've got a feeling he might have been just caught on the ball of his ankle.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's going to be okay. Nobody's bothered about Fabinho, who's still sitting on the pitch.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone's around Salah.
And they won't let the physio won't let them on.
Jurgen Klopp has called across Henderson. There's some instructions here for his captain. Klopp standing right next to him. His toes are actually on the pitch here, and he's what's he doing there? He's using his hands, pointing now at 2 or 3 different places on the pitch, shuffling his hands in front of him, still talking, then points his index finger to the side of his head. And then Henderson says, yeah.
The only problem after the first 3 words, Henderson's probably forgot all the others.
Half an hour played. Newcastle United 1, Liverpool 2. We'll have interviews aplenty, I would think, with Jason Mohammed at half-time. Neil Warnock we're going to hear from after Cardiff's relegation was confirmed in the tea-time kick-off. And we will have some Manchester City interviews from their win in the Women's FA Cup final.
Do you think Neil Warnock's interview will involve a nod to a referee or two? Would one think?
Possibly. I wouldn't bet against it. Being told that he's surprisingly upbeat, and actually I think he is right to be upbeat as Wijnaldum plays it forward, but it's cleared away by Dummett. Back to Wijnaldum, now Mane, space again for Robertson if Mane wants to find him on the left hand side, which he does, but he just delayed the delivery. However, here it is from Robertson into the box. Dummett heads it down and finds Key on the edge of the penalty area, and then Key chips it away for Perez. That's a nice ball from the South Korean. Perez, Robertson's quickly back though and forces Perez to check back and give it behind him to Key, who will go back into his own half. I think for Cardiff City, with their squad coming up,
they've done really well.
Everything that happened with Emiliano Salah, of course, and to get this far actually into the season, and for only on the penultimate weekend to have their fate decided, as the ball bounces away from Sturridge after Hayden's challenge, and now Liverpool are in again. Salah plays it through. Mane with a chance, saved by Dubravka, who came out, the Newcastle goalkeeper, and blocked that very well from Mane. And now Newcastle have got it back in front of their own penalty area again.
Yeah, it's a really, really good chance that as well. But as I say, a really good save by the goalkeeper. It doesn't matter what you stop it with.
Newcastle 1, Liverpool 2 remains the score.
I just get a feeling though every time Liverpool come forward now, John, there's lots of spaces, isn't there, which to run into.
Here's Atsu turning the ball straight out of play for a throw into Liverpool, just down in front of us here. Yeah, Newcastle generally in good form over the course of the last few weeks, but also quietly won 6 of their last 7 home Premier League matches.
Because they had an awful record, it took them an awful long time to win a game at home, didn't it?
Well, they were bottom in October, Newcastle, but have done something very similar to what they did last season when they won a lot of points in the second half of the season. And they've done exactly that this season. 24 points from the last 14 matches, and here they are comfortably staying up in 14th place.
I think they're sat too deep now, though. It's almost like Liverpool can play around them.
Yeah, what was for that period a cup tie feel to the game. It's all settled down.
Yeah, it's subsided.
To how it was in the first 15 minutes. Here's Henderson. Back towards Fabinho, and of course it suits Liverpool to take the sting out of the game, back in front.
Well, and just make Newcastle work.
Salah here on the right hand side, outside of his left boot, curls it straight onto the chest of Lascelles, who gave possession back to Liverpool. Salah now to Sturridge. Sturridge goes for a curler, looking for the top left corner as he looked at it on the edge of the box, but he was 3 feet over the top.
Yeah, it kind of looked good leaving his boot, and then as it went on, it got wider and wider and wider, but he knew exactly as he got the ball what he was going to do. But again, not really under any great pressure from any Newcastle defenders.
Sturridge, who started on the Friday night recently against Huddersfield, he's not scored since September and has really just played a bit part since that time. Here's Lovren, who gives the ball away to Ritchie, but Ritchie's ball down the left-hand side, looking for Atsu, is cleared into the Newcastle half and out of play by Alexander.
When was his goal against Chelsea?
Well,
was that it then? September.
Back in September. Yeah.
Some goal that was.
Yes. 4 goals in the opening period. He actually started well, goal scoring, but then lost his place in the team, and then Rondon off the pitch whacks the ball right up into the corner of the Leazes end.
Van Dijk's obviously saying to the referee, hold on a minute, you can't do that. Andre Marin's just giving it the big he's alright.
Throw into Liverpool with 10 minutes to go to half time. 5 live from St James's Park, and Alexander Arnold with the throw to Mane, who flicks it but just beyond Sturridge, and then Manquillo whacks it out of play.
And just as well, because Robertson was pouring forward down the left, and there was a massive open space for him to run through.
In actual fact, when you look at them now, Alexander Arnold swings the ball right across the field to Robertson, who is on the far side. He's still inside his half. Now he's in the opposition half, and then gives it to Henderson, and Henderson's pass was astray beyond Salah, and Newcastle with Ritchie finds Rondon in an offside position. But the Newcastle defenders, all of those defenders were probably within 15 yards of each other on the left-hand side here, and Robertson had, you could see the finish line.
Absolutely.
Here's Fabinho. Alexander Arnold knocks it on, but Dummett should deal with that, which he does, left-footed, curls it to the halfway line. Rondon gets a touch back to Ritchie. Ritchie goes for that ball over the top, which Lovren allows to bounce, and Alisson has come right to the edge of his penalty area to pick up the bouncing ball and underarm it out to Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum turns back to Salah, and then infield towards Fabinho again.
Fabinho just got all the space he wants, isn't he? He's never under any pressure from any Newcastle player.
No, as soon as he has it, then they all drop
retreat.
Back.
They just all retreat, don't they?
Yeah. 5-4-1. Here's Salah again. Salah bouncing the ball out towards the left-hand side to Van Dijk. 2 of the main men have scored the goals for Liverpool, Van Dijk and Salah. Lovren now to Alexander Arnold. Alexander Arnold's high ball to the edge of the area. Mane heads it back towards Salah. Salah square to Henderson, who turns. Robertson's arriving, left side of the box, drills it low and across, and it is blocked away by Lascelles, and it bounces for Perez. And Newcastle look to come forward, but Perez did well. He was a little fortunate there. He got a fortunate bounce of the ball off Henderson, but then in any case Henderson was able to win it back for Liverpool.
I can't understand Newcastle. They know where Robertson's going. He's done it all the half, and nobody's even attempted to get anywhere near him.
Alexander Arnold playing it back to Van Dijk again. Robertson on the far side. Floodlights shining brightly down now, but still plenty of daylight left. Lovren towards Wijnaldum, former Newcastle man, Jorginho Wijnaldum. Alexander Arnold then again back to Wijnaldum, who turns and will give it all the way back to goalkeeper Alisson. Beaten 3 times in the Nou Camp the other evening, but it could have been anything that game, couldn't it? Could. It was 3-0, could have been maybe 3-1 to Liverpool, could have been 5-0 to Barcelona.
It was a great watch though.
It wasn't it just? And the atmosphere. I'll tell you, Mark, when Messi scored that free kick, as Mane is impeded by Sharon, it's a free kick to Liverpool forward and right at the centre circle. The atmosphere inside the stadium that night, they knew the milestone, they knew the importance of the goal. Absolutely. What a goal it was. Yeah. That honestly was something to witness.
It came through the TV as well.
Yeah. Free kick that Wijnaldum is going to leave to Salah to take. Wijnaldum trots up towards the edge of the penalty area now. Newcastle holding that thick black and white line on the edge of their own penalty area. Alexander Arnold is across as well, looking for a hat-trick of assists. Salah, however, will play it in left-footed, and Dubravka comes and gets a comfortable catch.
Well, seniority took over there, because why wouldn't you let Alexander Arnold take it? with his delivery, which is brilliant, and it's needed a right-sided delivery as well.
So Liverpool lead by 2-1. So important for Liverpool to go back above Manchester City at the top of the table. These two great clubs, coastal clubs, Newcastle here in the northeast of England, Liverpool in the northwest. It's actually 45 years ago to the day since Newcastle and Liverpool played one another in the 1974 FA Cup final. Long ball forward for Newcastle from the back, but Alexander-Arnold was able to come across. And Salah now is well challenged and tackled by Hayden. Atsu back to Key in the centre circle. Key will play it out to the right-hand side to Manquillo, who sees Robertson arriving, and so goes back all the way into his own half.
Was that the Malcolm McDonald Cup final?
As Liverpool give it away, and it's back with Fabinho, flick from Mane. Henderson plays it past the defender, and Dubravka is able to come out, and Dummett there is very relieved to see the Newcastle goalkeeper arrive low and clutch the ball ahead of Henderson.
Yeah, he just shielded Henderson from getting to the ball, didn't he?
The Malcolm McDonald Cup final.
Super Mac.
Liverpool won by 3-0.
Yeah. Wasn't he supposed to destroy them or something?
That's right, yes.
Super Mac.
Yeah, very much so. And it didn't go that way for Newcastle. But that was the one as well where David Coleman's commentary, which was with Kevin Keegan, one of Kevin Keegan's goals. You must remember it. Goals pay the rent, and Keegan gets his share. Here is Lascelles at the back. Across it comes to Dummett, who hits it forward. Alexander-Arnold to Salah, who lifts a pass, but it bounces away from Sturridge to goalkeeper Dubravka.
Funnily enough, I can't remember that.
Can you not?
No.
Must be the commentator's memory that remembers
Absolutely.
that. Absolutely. Well, it was 45 years ago, Mark.
Yeah.
Newcastle 1, Liverpool 2.
I remember a David Coleman comment, the pass was too good for the man. I certainly remember that.
Who was that?
That was David Coleman.
Who were the players involved?
Oh, behave yourself. Can't remember last Tuesday.
Here's Ritchie on the left-hand side, up towards Hayden, but Liverpool have it back. Lovren chipping it into centre field, and then Sturridge's pass, that's blocked. Atsu's beaten to it by Fabinho, but Manquillo's going to win this ball, and Manquillo's pass through towards Rondon. It bounces back to Rondon, who shoots low but lacking power, and Alisson was able to drop to his right.
Yeah, he looked to play it off, didn't he, Rondon? And it was kind of nothing else, nowhere else to go, so I thought he had a shot, but he didn't strike it particularly well.
Yeah, but he's a nuisance, isn't he? He's a presence, Rondon.
A beast of a nuisance.
Yeah, he's been Newcastle's top scorer for most of the season.
Yeah,
10 goals, but Perez has now moved past him.
But he wrestles people off the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah. I would imagine he'll have big concerns, won't he? All the trouble that there is in Venezuela at the moment, his home country, but a long way from home here on Tyneside, where he is, as I say, the player of the season, just being named as the Newcastle United player of the season. They've got all the previous ones listed in the programme. Some fine players who've won that award over the years. As Liverpool play the ball down the right, but that's beyond Salah, and out of play for a throw into Newcastle in their own left back area.
Klopp just saying to the players, go on, go and peg them back in there, try and win the ball.
2.5 minutes of the first 45 to go. If you've just joined us, got back into your car or in your kitchen, we will be hearing from Neil Warnock at half-time after Cardiff's relegation was confirmed today. Ball thumped forward. We'll round up everything else that's happened as well today. Congratulations to Celtic. Really enjoyed hearing Neil Lennon on Sports Report live with Mark Chapman just after 5 o'clock from the team bus.
From the team bus,
yes. They're in high spirits.
Fraught with danger.
It wasn't it just. I think they just about got away with it.
Yeah. Well, the bleeper wasn't used, was it? So obviously they did.
Chappers was able to maintain decorum. Here is Henderson. I'm sure that'll be somewhere on social media if you want to hear it. Here is Alexander-Arnold back into to Lovren, who will go to Fabinho, who will play it back to Van Dijk. And they've very much got a measure of control, Liverpool, again now in the match.
Well, and they've always got that get-out, which is Robertson, that we keep going on about.
Here it is Liverpool again. Alexander-Arnold onto his right foot up towards Salah, who was buffeted by Ritchie. Went down Salah, no free kick. Ritchie, Fabinho comes in with a challenge. Key with a flick, back to Ritchie. Then Fabinho in on Ritchie, goes down. That's no free kick. Ref plays the advantage. Manquillo, lovely change of feet from Manquillo, and then he loses the ball. and he falls over, and so Newcastle are short at the back as Liverpool come forward. Sturridge to Henderson now to Robertson, who of course is available. Thought about the ball in towards the edge of the penalty area, but possibly with the idea that we are now in the 45th minute. He just changed the momentum of the attack, and they went back towards the halfway line and are just keeping possession in the central third of the field again.
Koch was going ape, wasn't he, at the fourth official for a tackle on what he thought was a foul on Salah.
I don't think it was. Here is Salah again. Ritchie, who's not given Salah much space, in fact tackles it out of play, and Salah turns around with a
little bit irritated,
with a reaction as if to say, how dare you?
How dare you indeed?
How very dare you? And it's a throw in to Liverpool. Salah, he gets a little pat there from Ritchie. Salah ignores him. Throw in to Alexander-Arnold. Here it is, looped in towards Sturridge, hits him on the shoulder, he falls over. Newcastle clear. Here's Mane now, does well against, might have been just nibbled at by Cher. Ball into the penalty area, Dummett heads it down, could have gone anywhere, and then Cher's back in possession, and Cher hits it long downfield. 2 minutes of added time. Rondon was offside. Free kick Liverpool. 2-1 Liverpool lead. So Liverpool would go to 94 points with one game to play.
Wow, 94 points.
94 points, and you might not win the league.
Crazy.
And Manchester City would have 92 with 2 matches to play. Here's Fabinho, and now Alexander-Arnold lifts it high towards the edge of the box where Lascelles is able to nod it down. Fabinho hits it forward, straight at Key. Ritchie, high and long through the middle. He's looking for Rondon really, although Perez gets his head to it against Van Dijk, and then Perez bumps into Van Dijk and falls over and looks at the referee, who ignores it.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit 70 Van Dijk, 30 Perez.
Here is Henderson, but Henderson is challenged well by Cher, and the ball's deflected out of play for a throw in to Liverpool, and now Cher and Henderson, who looks fired up for this, I must say, and it is a throw in for Liverpool, but Henderson just threatened to react against Cher there.
Well, I think, has Cher not got booked? Did he not knock the ball out of Henderson's hand, I think he's gone into Andre Mariner's book.
First booking of the match? Yeah. Throw in to Liverpool. And we are well into that 2 minutes of added time now. Liverpool leading by 2 goals to 1. Robertson takes the throw to Wijnaldum, who has it nicked off him by Rondon, and then Key plays it to Atsu, scorer of the Newcastle goal, back inside his own half. Further back to Ritchie, who has a little shuffle towards the halfway line and then gives it back to Lascelles, and that's the half-time whistle, and Liverpool leading by 2 goals to 1. Strange half, actually.
Very strange.
Several different phases to it.
Yeah, it was almost 3, wasn't it? Liverpool scored a very simple goal from their point of view, poor goal defensively from Newcastle's, and seemed to be in control. Then all of a sudden Newcastle started to go forward, get men in the opposition penalty area, and got a deserved equaliser, and it felt like a cup tie at that particular moment. And then Salah with a brilliant finish to an outstanding cross from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and really generally Liverpool in control, but just the odd scare defensively when Newcastle decide to pour men forward.
Yep, Alexander-Arnold created both Liverpool goals for Van Dijk and Salah. Christian Atsu scored for Newcastle. Alexander-Arnold could have been sent off in the whole scoring of the Newcastle goal after blocking it on the line with his arm, but it fell to Atsu, who put it in the net. The goal stood, and Alexander-Arnold stayed on the field. So at half-time here on Tyneside, Newcastle United 1, Liverpool 2 is the score. And here's Jason Mohammed back at 5 Live. Thanks, Jason. Liverpool players are out. They're still waiting for Newcastle, and they're coming back one by one from the tunnel. Mark Lawrence and Jurgen Klopp was out very early.
Yeah, I just looking at his face and the way he was prowling, I think he might have had 1 or 2 things to get off his chest.
Do you think?
At half? Yeah, I do. I think he might have fired a little bit of a warning shot across the bows, to be honest.
So what will he not
do? I think he thought they gave the ball away quite a lot in certain situations, and also just as we give them the big high about managing games, they didn't really particularly manage that first half very well, did they?
Right, Liverpool are going to begin the second half. No substitutions. Suddenly a shower of rain begins to fall on St James's Park.
Surely not, John.
Well, it's been blue sky virtually throughout while daylight was with us, as Lovren heads the ball back to Alisson, who's able to pick the ball up. So Newcastle, Dubravka, Cher, Lascelles and Dummett are the three central defenders. Manquillo and Ritchie, the wing backs. Key and Hayden in the middle. Perez, Atsu, and then Rondon as the spearhead. Liverpool's team. Robertson coming forward now into the penalty area, and then Manquillo did well, actually, just leaned into him and Robertson overran it straight through for a goal kick.
Well, at least Newcastle got somebody much closer to him start of the second half than all the first half. Just look at the body language of Klopp.
Yeah, hands behind his back.
Yeah, it's a little bit like
prowling around.
Prove me wrong.
Liverpool with Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Lovren, Van Dijk and Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson and Wijnaldum, Salah, Mane and Sturridge. It is 2-1 to Liverpool. Van Dijk headed Liverpool in front. Christian Atsu equalised, and then Mohamed Salah with his 26th Liverpool goal of the season made it 2-1 Liverpool. Here's Sturridge on the halfway line. Sturridge rolls it forward, but straight at Lascelles, who's able to pass it away for Newcastle, attacking the Gallagate end in the second half, as they like to do, down the slope you were telling me about.
Yeah.
And they're in the black and white striped shirts, black shorts and white socks. Liverpool in the red kit with the white numbers. Here's number 15, Sturridge, through to Wijnaldum. Important challenge from Cher. It was good, actually. Able to work it out and clear it to Salah on the right hand side. Salah looking to cross, left-footed, but gives it back to Alexander-Arnold, who swings a ball right across the edge of the penalty area to Robertson, and Robertson's cross to the back post is headed away and across and beyond the far post by Lascelles for a corner, with Liverpool players either side of him.
John Dummett just let Sturridge run, and if Lascelles hadn't got a touch, Sturridge would have scored. A header from we're probably less than 6 yards out.
And heavy rain now blowing into St James's Park under the floodlights, and these showers come from seemingly nowhere, and it's always a worry here for us, because we're down very close to the front of the stand, and if it rains heavily we get wet. Alexander-Arnold with the corner from the right. It's headed away by Rondon. Back to Alexander-Arnold, who allows it to bounce out of play. Throw in halfway inside the Newcastle half, and one or two spectators I noticed just scurrying for cover for the time being. Alexander-Arnold waits to take it. Liverpool supporters in great voice, their noise is also raining down from way up high. Liverpool would be going back to the top again with this scoreline. Sturridge chests off, Salah goes for the shot, it dropped, chested down, went for the volley, but it was wide and high and into the fans in the Leazes end.
Didn't quite make good contact on it, did he?
There's the rain right into our faces now. It's just going to keep things fresh for the rest of the evening, I think.
Is that the same as wet?
Wet, yeah. Free goal kick, Dubravka passes it out, Cher comes short, gives it back to Dubravka, made an important save, remember, from Mane in the latter stages of the first half. Should mention as well the fact that Perez hit the crossbar for Newcastle, as well as the goal that was scored by Atsu. Dummett inside his own half, back across to Lascelles, and the Newcastle captain gives it back to his goalkeeper.
You know, in typical football Mickey taking, please tell me that Cher's nickname is Sonny. It has to be.
Here's Atsu on the left hand side. Atsu for Newcastle. Here's the cross, low into the penalty area, cleared away by Lovren and headed away by Mane, who got to it ahead of Manquillo. Newcastle come again. This is with the aforementioned Cher, whose right-footed cross is headed up and away by Lovren from near the penalty spot. Comes out to Ritchie, right foot shot, that's blocked inside the box. Back to Atsu, looking to give it to Rondon, shoots on the turn, but Alisson goes down to make the save.
Yeah, it's a good save, actually. It's a decent strike as well. He did well, Rondon, turning in such a short space.
Liverpool looking to break away quickly, but Lascelles is across and passes it to Manquillo, who's going to see it all the way back to Dubravka, who controls it. Robertson herring forward out to Lascelles, who's in danger of losing it. He has lost it to Robertson. That was very careless from Newcastle. Mane back to Robertson. Wijnaldum, again Wijnaldum and Robertson. Slick passing from Liverpool. Mane, that's a lovely ball back to Wijnaldum across, and then Sturridge blazes it wide and high, and down in front of us here Jurgen Klopp jumps away in anguish that Sturridge wasn't able to bury it.
He just needed to pass it in the goal, didn't it? It was a strange to go for such a violent connection. It was coming to him nice and fast. All he had to really do was redirect the direction on the pace of the ball, and it would have been 3-1. How well did Robertson do, mine?
Yeah. Daniel Sturridge, at his best, playing regularly, scores that.
Oh, all day long. All day long.
But this is Daniel Sturridge, who has made 6 starts now and 13 substitute appearances since September. It's just not, football. Out of contract at the end of the season, Sturridge. Here's Key bringing it forward for Newcastle. Liverpool leading by 2-1. Key is going to pass it back towards the halfway line and share to Perez, whose flick is straight to Van Dijk, and now Henderson, Liverpool captain, to Liverpool's talisman, Salah, left-footed ball across field into the path of Mane, who, not sure what he was trying to do, but he flicked the ball behind himself. However, he still got it. Mane puts his foot on the ball. Robertson arriving. Mane threads it through, and Robertson crosses it. It takes a double deflection, blocked away, and is cleared away on the edge of the penalty area by Cher.
I think that Salah had the last touch, actually.
Here's Rondon. Newcastle breaking away. Rondon took his eye off the ball, and it ran out of play, and it's a throw-in to Liverpool. What happened there with that Liverpool attack?
No, it was a Newcastle defender who had the last touch. He managed to clear it.
Ball's out of play on the far side for a throw-in to Liverpool. Going back to Cher, mentioned this a couple of times. One of our colleagues, BBC Devon, I think it was, got in touch. When Newcastle played Tottenham at Wembley, we had Son on one side, nicknamed Sonny, and we had Cher on the other. And incredibly, believe it or not, the day that match was played was Groundhog Day.
Really?
In America.
Wow. I got you, babe.
Absolutely. Throwing up the far side for Liverpool, and that's a free kick. And actually, Ritchie's just been ticked off for the challenge. Liverpool take the kick, and here is Henderson to Fabinho. Fabinho running the ball across here to the left-hand side for Liverpool. Robertson passes it back virtually along the halfway line. Fabinho. Liverpool had 71% possession in the first half, by the way. Salah to Sturridge, and then in comes Dummett with a challenge. Salah goes down again, but no free kick. Ball won back by Robertson to Alexander-Arnold, tried to play it down the right hand side. Ritchie intercepted that. Now Newcastle could be in business again. Hayden to Atsu now attacking. Lovren goes round Lovren, left-footed cross from Atsu. Robertson was there on the edge of the 6-yard box with Perez arriving behind him, and Robertson headed over his own crossbar for a corner.
Yeah, and Klopp berating both Sturridge and Salah for not getting back. Robertson's been brilliant, John. Absolutely brilliant. Has there ever been a better left back for Liverpool?
Well, that's a big statement.
Well, and a couple of the left backs were speaking about it the other day, Jim Begg and Alan Kennedy. They didn't think so. Well, they thought he was the best.
Newcastle 1, Liverpool 2. This is BBC Radio 5 Live. Mark Lawrenson with us. Mark will be alongside Jason Mohammed for 6:06 after this match. Key with a corner for Newcastle to the near post. That's headed away on the edge of the 6-yard box by Van Alden. Rondon shoots and scores! What a superb left foot finish! Caught it on the volley. The low shot flew into the bottom corner. And for the second time in the match, Newcastle have come from a goal down. It's 2-2 now. Liverpool pegged back for a second time. They're in a battle here at St James's Park now.
Yeah, it was a header from one of his teammates from Rondon, but I don't think he meant to pick him out. Liverpool cleared it with a header on the edge of the area. The Newcastle player headed it back in. It's a brilliant finish by Rondon. Absolutely brilliant finish. Right in the corner. Alisson, no chance.
He buried that left-footed rather in the manner of Alan Shearer, I have to say. It was a Shearer-like finish.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
In front of the Gallagher end. I think it's Wijnaldum who headed away. It was nodded back in, and it just bounced up beautifully for Rondon. In front of him, a yard in front of him, and he just swung his left foot at it.
I think what happened is, I think Mane was picking Rondon up, and when the ball got headed back in, he went to meet it and completely missed it, which allowed Rondon just to have a little bit more space, a little bit more time.
Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 2, and Manchester City, watching and listening on, are liking this, and they're probably liking the sound of St James's Park as well. I just had a feeling that it might turn into this sort of night here, Saturday night. Not had this before for a league match at this stage of a Saturday evening on Tyneside. And now
we're back to a cup final.
We are. Cup final back on. Mane for Liverpool. These are big moments. These are big moments in these Premier League title races. Key is upended by Henderson. There's also another Newcastle man down. Perez, I think it is, who might need some treatment. He's still sitting on the pitch. And now Liverpool are having a moment here where they're having to think long and hard about what's happening here inside the ground. The Newcastle sections all around are absolutely vibrant. Newcastle fans are on their feet, singing their songs and urging their team on to try and win this game. Liverpool played forward towards Salah, and Lascelles comes across and he plants that halfway, 3/4 of the way up the stand.
And gets a massive cheer.
And the ball is being delivered back by a spectator who takes a couple of dainty steps down and then throws the ball, throw-in style, down onto the pitch for Alexander-Arnold to take this. The score's 2-2. And with this scoreline, Manchester City would be staying top on goal difference, and they would have played a game less than Liverpool. City would have 2 games to play, Liverpool 1. Still a long way to go yet, though.
There is, but I'm just wondering whether Klopp might think about making a change. He's definitely not happy. You can just see him on the line.
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain among the substitutes. Robertson playing it into Wijnaldum, drives into the penalty area on the left-hand side, gives it back to Sturridge. That miss from Sturridge looks costly now. Robertson in from the left-hand side, that's cleared away by Cher. Liverpool with Van Dijk in possession. Milner's on the bench as well as Oxlade-Chamberlain, Shaqiri, Origi.
Loads of options, isn't he?
Lots of options. Van Dijk back to Robertson again. Still, though, you feel that Liverpool's best options are with their fullbacks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovren, and here is the other one on the far side, the young Englishman, Trent Alexander-Arnold, the Liverpudlian, Fabinho. That's a poor ball from Fabinho, passed it straight to Ritchie, but Alexander-Arnold puts in the challenge and Liverpool have got the ball back. And that rain seems to have gone away, thankfully. Robertson now on the left-hand side. Robertson looks infield, manages to find Sturridge. No Firmino, by the way, if you weren't listening earlier. Firmino not involved. Of course, he's had this thigh muscle tear, as it was, a little tear, even though he was able to play a part late on in the Nou Camp on Wednesday night. Alexander-Arnold swings the ball across from right to left. Robertson catches up with it near the corner flag on the left flank, plays it back to Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum now is closed down by Perez. Back to Robertson on the left flank. A whole line of substitutes warming up down there behind him off the field. Van Dijk, Virgil on the top of his shoulders, on the back of his shirt, above his number 4, the number Mark Lawrenson used to wear for Liverpool. Here is Henderson playing the ball into the penalty area. Salah on the chase, but Dummett sees it behind and just holds off the little buffet that he had from Salah. Goal kick, Newcastle 2-2, Mark.
Yeah, very much Newcastle with the tails up as well, but Liverpool gaining possession back and starting to pass the ball without really at the moment looking like they're going to cause too much damage to Newcastle.
Rafa Benitez, we want you to stay. We want you to stay, Rafa Benitez, we want you to stay. That's what they're singing. Lovren over the top of Wijnaldum, and here is Benitez, who's got a coat on. Ball bounces back towards the edge of the penalty area. Alexander-Arnold turns and volleys it to the halfway line. Dummett nods it forward. Then it's lifted back into the Newcastle half by Fabinho. Salah herring around, and then Dummett again puts his foot through it, volleys it into the centre circle. Bounces here to the left-hand side to Robertson. Robertson now taking it on. Ball to the edge of the box, and Sturridge can't take it on, and Key offside hits it downfield where Rondon is offside. He's just scored his 11th goal of the season.
He does like to go early though, doesn't he? Probably due to the fact it's a bit of lack of pace.
Free kick then for Liverpool. 6:06 to come. We'll let you know when the lines are open to talk to Mark, who's here with us at St James's Park, and Jason Mohammed, who'll be in the studio. And they are open now. 08085 909 693. Get in touch. Hashtag BBC 606 on social media. You can text on 85058. And as I say, an hour or so after the end of this match, a little bit more than that, and we'll try and bring the interviews as well. Ball played in towards Mane, who's in an offside position, shoots wide of goal in any case. Free kick to Newcastle. Yep, we'll have the live interviews from down in the tunnel area as well, with hopefully Jurgen Klopp, hopefully Rafa Benitez, depending on what happens over the course of the next half hour. We are into the last half hour of the match now, and I'm just hearing that Judd Trump has won his semi-final against Gary Wilson, 17-11. So we'll have a Judd Trump, John Higgins World Championship final over the course of the next couple of days, live on BBC Two and on the BBC website and app, which promises to be a good one. Here is Hayden playing it forward. Ball lands on the back of Alexander-Arnold's neck. Atsu has won it back. Newcastle are thinking about winning this. Ball in from Ritchie. Perez chests it down nicely, turns left side of the penalty area, drags his foot back over it. He's still going, Perez. He's beaten three men. He curls the shot, which hits Henderson at close quarters, and Liverpool are clear.
He did brilliantly, didn't he? Didn't look like he had enough room to turn anywhere. Fantastic, quick feet.
It really was a brilliant piece of play in a tight area by Perez, almost Messi-like. Liverpool have seen enough of that sort of play this week. Fabinho heads away on the edge of his own penalty area, and then it's won back illegally in centre field by Manquillo. By the way, Liverpool's next match will be a 5 Live commentary match as well. That is Tuesday night, live from Anfield, second leg of Liverpool-Barcelona. Free kick taken quickly by Liverpool, looking for Salah, but it was headed away by Lascelles on the edge of the box. Yeah, Anfield Tuesday night, the Johan Cruyff Arena Wednesday night, Ajax-Tottenham, and then Valencia-Arsenal on Thursday night. Our European semi-final commentaries. Manquillo's pass is beyond Rondon and just bounces through for Alisson to pick up.
It was nowhere near him, was it? All he had to do was just draw it kind of in there into him, and he would have held it up. Waste.
Liverpool need to win this. They know that. That's all too obvious. It's 2-2. These are tense moments. This is a true test for Liverpool after the Nou Camp on Wednesday night.
He's definitely going to make a substitution, I think, Klopp. John
Milner?
Possibly.
Ball in. Here's Salah. Salah does well. Finds Sturridge. Sturridge, heavy touch in there. Sturridge, though, gets a touch back for Liverpool. Robertson drives it across at pace. Henderson slightly behind him, and he couldn't get the meaningful touch. And it's out with Atsu into the left-back area. Back to Dummett, who will clear long and left-footed up towards Rondon. Chests it down. Excellent play from the Venezuelan. Back to Ritchie, whose pass is for Perez to chase. Van Dijk was there to play it across, and Alisson took a heavy touch, but it deflected it across the penalty area with no one there.
No. Doesn't look good in a pink outfit, though, does it?
No, it doesn't. Here's Wijnaldum to Robertson on the halfway line. Newcastle posing big questions here. Rafa Benitez could be causing some damage here to Liverpool's hopes of winning the title.
They're having a really good spell, aren't they?
Van Dijk to Robertson. Robertson looks up, but it's all black and white as he looks up. Apart from Rondon, and Rondon's 10 yards inside his own half. Newcastle with so many men behind the ball. Alexander-Arnold goes for a long one into the penalty area, but that's beyond anyone in red.
What I do like about the two Liverpool full-backs, John, apart from the obvious, is every time they get the ball, they always look forward. Always. They know they can go back, they know they can go sideways, but they always look forward.
That change is going to be made, that first change, be a Liverpool change. We're very close to the top of the dugout here, but I can't see any movement through the Perspex top from where we are, but I think it will be Milner against one of his old clubs. Alisson chipping the ball out to Alexander-Arnold, but goes to Mane. Mane turning away from Key, both Key and Cher, and one of them just caught him. Key, free kick to Liverpool.
In fairness to the referee, he's done well. He's trying to let play go on, but I think he probably fouled 3 times.
Not Milner.
Shaqiri.
Here is Salah on the right-hand side.
What's that stat you gave me before about Shaqiri?
He's come on as a substitute in only 2 of the last 13 Liverpool appearances, Liverpool matches.
I want to favour a little bit, maybe.
Rather. that set up one of the goals against Huddersfield, remember? And he came on, and Shaqiri is going to be the first man to come on. Squat little figure. Ball's played over the top for Liverpool, but Salah won't reach that. And I'm feeling a little bit of tension.
Yes,
from Liverpool.
Well, the thing is that they're now, in terms of the passing, they're trying to force it, and just keep passing the ball.
Right, Shaqiri's on. It's Wijnaldum who makes way in the midfield.
Right. Well, that's positive, isn't it?
And he runs across Shaqiri right out to the right-hand side. He has a word with Henderson, who looks as though he's going to drop a little deeper with Fabinho.
Yes.
And Shaqiri certainly positioned himself out towards the right-hand side.
Yeah.
The score, Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 2. Liverpool have been ahead twice in the match. Newcastle have come to make it 1-1, then 2-2. Here is Rondon, who scored Newcastle's second. Back to Richie, puts his foot on the ball. It's glanced goalwards by Atsu, but well wider than near post, actually.
I like Richie, because as soon as he gets the ball, he bends it in, doesn't he, across, gets it in nice and early.
So a 2-2. If this is a draw, Manchester City would need 4 points from their 2 matches to retain the title. Perez on the right-hand side. Perez beats Fabinho, gives it back to Key, and then back it goes to the halfway line to Cher, who's going to go on one of those runs forward. Rondon, Perez allows it to run nicely. Manquillo now with a high cross, very high. It's allowed to bounce over Alexander-Arnold. 2 Newcastle players, no one got a touch. Shaqiri cleared it. Dummett then heads it forward, headed away by Robertson on the edge of the box. Now Manquillo's ball in, diving header away by Lovren, threw himself headlong at it. Ball bounces off Sturridge. Newcastle, what a turn by Hayden. Hayden is closed down by Fabinho, and Liverpool have it back. And Sturridge tells Mane to get moving, but gives the ball to Robertson, and Robertson curls it to Fabinho in space in the centre circle. We've got just over a quarter of the match to play, and it's still 2-2 here. Henderson.
I'm just wondering, John, whether Benitez will counter-attack what Liverpool have done in terms of the change.
Robertson back to Henderson. Henderson now being booed more loudly. And Henderson, and it's catching, gives it to Robertson here on the left-hand side. Back to Henderson. Henderson, he also motions with his left arm with the ball at his feet to tell his players to go forward. Lovren's ball forward, out comes Dubravka to punch beyond the penalty spot, cleared away by Dummett. Robertson, there's a Liverpool player down inside the box. Salah, who's been clattered when Dubravka came out, and referee Mariner immediately calls for the medical people to come on. Well, the goalkeeper came out very positively as Salah was challenging for the ball. There was a defender in there as well, and Salah is still on the ground. And
in fairness to the Newcastle defenders, they were shouting to the referee straight away.
And Salah is lying on his side, and the medical people are very quickly on there now. And it looks as though Salah's head was caught by Dubravka's hip.
Yeah, accidentally.
Yeah, he came out, he leapt high, very high actually. His hip was at head level, and as he punched it, there was contact there. Salah is still lying on his side, and well, in the current climate,
yes,
you would think that very possibly Salah won't be able to continue. They're saying
straight away, they're just motioning to the bench, get new substitute on.
And the 2 medical people there are leaning over Salah, who is still lying on his left side.
Yeah.
And hasn't moved a great deal. His eyes are open.
That's good.
We're told that
the other thing as well, I think that will come in now, don't you? The kind of 10-minute sub thing where you just bring somebody on and then you check out, obviously for concussion.
I think we're moving very quickly towards that, Mark, aren't we? Just after Vertonghen last week.
Why can't people, the powers that be, make a decision straight away? Why is it so difficult? It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's something that calls for immediate action.
Of course it is. Quickly. It's just ridiculous.
Salah is still lying on the pitch, and Origi is being prepared by Liverpool to come on to replace him. So no Firmino, not involved at all for Liverpool this evening, and I think they have missed him again.
Yes, no, they undoubtedly miss him. He's the kind of conduit for the two guys, aren't they? For Salah and Mane, most definitely. There's a lot of unseen work as well.
So no Firmino, and with 20 minutes to play, and Liverpool needing to win this match, they're about to lose their top scorer Mohamed Salah as well, after he was clattered by Dubravka, the Newcastle goalkeeper, as he had every right to do, to punch the ball away, and as he did so, just connected with Salah, who was himself trying to reach the ball.
And Liverpool not playing particularly well this half either.
Salah, obviously they're taking every care with Mohamed Salah, and we'll place him onto the stretcher. So we've got a lengthy stoppage. Divock Origi here on this side of the field is being talked to by Jurgen Klopp, and everyone watching from a distance. The medical people do their work. Shaqiri's been called across now and is also going to receive some information. Daniel Sturridge has come for a drink of water. And the score, Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 2. Tomorrow we will have two more Premier League commentaries. We'll have coverage of the final round of the Championship matches from 12:30. That'll start during the squad with Nick Bright, which starts at 12 o'clock. Jonathan Overend will take over from 1 o'clock. We'll have all of the top football covered, but commentary on Huddersfield Manchester United from 2, and Brighton against Arsenal from 4:30. Brighton are safe now, and 5 Live Sports Extra will have commentary on the first of the England-Pakistan matches of the summer, the T20 match from Cardiff from 2:15, with Jimmy Anderson part of the commentary team. Now applause from all around St James's Park as Salah has been lifted onto the stretcher and strapped in, and he's got his hands up over his face, I notice, Mohamed Salah, as he lies there on the stretcher. I mean, he is moving and he's rubbing his eyes, and he's being lifted up now. He scored Liverpool's second goal here tonight, 26th for the season, but he's going to play no further part in this match. And obviously Salah's health is the primary concern.
Yes, absolutely.
The secondary concern is that they're going to play the rest of this match without him. And off he comes. He's been brought right towards us here, and we can see he's still got his right hand up over his face as he moves on the stretcher off the field, and now under the dugout and down the tunnel. And Divock Origi comes on to replace Mohamed Salah. Big moments, Mark. 20 minutes to play.
Yes, very, very, very big moments. You might argue this is Liverpool's season here, from now till the end of the game.
If it stays like this, Manchester City and Liverpool would be level on 92 points, and Liverpool would have played a game more. So City would need 4 points from 2 matches to retain their title. So Divock Origi is onto the field. So Origi, Sturridge and Mane is now the Liverpool front line. 2-2 the score. 5 Live from the BBC. Ritchie does well. Hayden now into the penalty area. Hayden's cross is blocked, back to Atsu, across to Rondon on his left foot, shoots, takes a double deflection, bounces up in the air, and Alisson is able to catch it easily.
Just trying to work out where Origi's going to play, whether he's going to play. No, I think Mane's going through the middle. I think Origi will play on the left, and then of course you've got Sturridge just off Mane and Shaqiri on the right of a 3 in terms of the front players.
Liverpool in possession with the ball over on the right hand side, up towards Sturridge, who was an awkward ball for him. It was at neck height, bounced off him. There's a Newcastle man down now. Hayden plays it back to Ritchie, and now referee Mariner's going to stop play again, because the Newcastle player, who is Key, is it? I think it might be Key.
I think it is Key.
Who
he might have got a knock in the face as well, I think.
Yeah. So we'll have another stoppage now, and the Newcastle medical people are on.
What time's the last bus?
Sorry, don't worry, it's a Saturday night. We've got all the time in the world. We will have all of the sport previewed and reviewed in Weekend Breakfast in the morning between 6 and 9, and Gary Richardson will be on the air at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Key got a backhander from Sturridge right on his nose,
So there might be a bit of blood there as well.
There could be some claret indeed.
Gary will be, as ever, looking at all of the big issues of the sporting week, including the Castor Semenya story, but also big football guests. Sheffield United manager Chris Wilder is going to be on the programme after Sheffield United's promotion-winning season, and also Tommy Fleetwood is going to be on with Gary in the morning ahead of the British Masters at Hillside next week.
I might just have to walk down there, Mr. Murray, have a little look.
I thought you might. Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 2. Key has walked off the field, and now he's running back on, and he's just wiping his nose.
Yeah, it was one of those that you don't expect, and it's always kind of, when it's accidental, you don't expect it. It's always seemed to be worse.
This scoreline, Manchester City become big favourites to win the league. 2-2, Liverpool must score. Van Dijk heads it towards the halfway line. Van Dijk again, Origi nods it infield. Key nods it up. Van Dijk heads it away. Hayden, and the thing is, when Newcastle have come forward, they've looked quite threatening. Now Cher, left-footed. Van Dijk challenges Perez, who's taken a bang on the knock of his head, on the back of his head, and has gone down holding his head. Liverpool are playing on, so the referee has to stop play again.
Yeah,
of course, he does. He has to stop play.
Well, and the other thing is, you know what? Whatever you say, it should not be down to the players. It's up to the referee, isn't it? It has to be.
Van Dijk and Robertson, were they exchanging words there?
I think Van Dijk caught the back of Perez's head, did he not?
Well, Van Dijk seems to suggest there wasn't a great deal in that.
No.
But Perez has been able to get up and carry on without, and Robertson, I think, has said something. I think Robertson has doubted Perez's head injury.
All right, not his parentage, his head injury.
I might have doubted that as well. And there was contact between the back of his head and Van Dijk, but not a great deal. And the referee has to stop play. He sees that.
Yeah, of course.
And after what we've just seen with Salah, we'll find out how Salah is, by the way, as soon as we can. We'll bring that news to you. 2-2 the score. Mark Lawrenson with us on 5 Live. Ball headed infield for Liverpool. Key has sliced the ball up towards his own penalty area. Mane gets up high, but it's nodded away. Fabinho heads it down. He's had his own head injury problems, Fabinho, recently, of course, at Cardiff. Now Robertson always put in a little challenge there on Perez when the ball had gone. That is very silly by Robertson. And Perez, this is way off the ball now, just has a little word with Robertson. Now Alexander-Arnold, who might have been sent off in the first half for a handball on the line. Alexander-Arnold plays it in, it's cleared away, out of play by Lascelles for a throw into Liverpool down the right. I feel like a bit of the zip and a bit of the vim and vigour has gone from Liverpool.
Yes, and they're getting a little bit tetchy, aren't they? Just due to the frustration. Just easy to say, just get the ball down and keep passing it. Move Newcastle around.
Van Dijk now to Fabinho. Liverpool supporters in great voice. They've sensed that their team needs them. They're so high up in the Leazes Endo, but the sound is reaching the pitch. Henderson to Robertson on the left-hand side. Back to Henderson again. Henderson to Fabinho. And these Liverpool players, as Fabinho passes it over the top of Henderson. Let's not forget, these are the Liverpool players who are involved in that tussle, that titanic match in Barcelona on Wednesday night. And we're now into the last. We've got 12 minutes plus added time. There'll be a lot of added time though. Throwing to Newcastle. Manquillo, who had a little spell himself, remember, at Liverpool. Javier Manquillo is going to wait to take this throw. Rafa Benitez is trying to shuffle his pack. He's yet to make a change. Benitez, a substitution. Here is Hayden, but Cher loses it. Sturridge now. Sturridge to Shaqiri. Shaqiri very nearly found the pass, just cut out by Cher. Robertson's got it back. Here's Robertson. Liverpool need him to lift them. Robertson's ball in field. He feels he was impeded. Jurgen Klopp is furious. Newcastle, though, after that pass, Key gives it to Rondon down the right-hand side. Perez is in the middle. He peels away to the back post. Rondon tries to find him with that ball, which he does. Perez takes it down. First touch took him away from the penalty area. Ritchie's involved as well. Left-footed cross into the area. Alisson punches it above the head of Hayden, who is arriving inside the penalty area. Still 2-2, and Cher plays the ball all the way back to his goalkeeper Dubravka, who goes long with it. Van Dijk unchallenged. heads the ball into the centre circle. Sturridge now takes it down, and Sturridge's ball over the top is beyond Origi and bounces through for Dubravka.
I think Origi was on his heels.
Now a long one forward, but Perez is in an offside position.
Yeah.
Henderson gives that motioning, putting his palms out in front of him and pointing them down. Just calm down is the signal from the captain.
I'd rather say pass to a red shirt, because they haven't been doing so.
Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. At the moment, watching this game here inside St James's Park, the portents are not particularly good for Liverpool. Here's Lovren playing it to Shaqiri on the far side. Alexander-Arnold back to Fabinho. Liverpool are going to have to come up with something here. Fabinho is caught there. That was a late one from Key. It's a free kick to Liverpool on the halfway line. Alexander-Arnold has hit it all the way across the pitch, and he's passed it straight out of play, 20 yards behind Robertson. And you can hear now Liverpool being taunted by the home fans inside St James's Park. This is every bit as hard now for Liverpool as Jurgen Klopp predicted it would be in the Nou Camp on Wednesday night.
And we have to credit Newcastle. I think they played very, very well second half. They've been the better team.
And Rafael Benitez, who's having his name sung again by the Newcastle fans. People said Benitez's Newcastle would roll over against his old club. Not a bit of it. I don't know who ever would have believed that, frankly, as the ball is headed out of play by Hayden.
No.
Throw in for Liverpool.
Well, he's a stubborn so-and-so, isn't he, Benitez?
Well, Benitez's Newcastle did Liverpool a great favour when they beat Manchester City here. You know, that was the favour.
Yes.
Not this. Newcastle have to win this for themselves, even though they're comfortably clear of the relegation zone. All of the relegation places now wrapped up. But Newcastle have been, again, a different team in the second half of the season as they were last season. Henderson playing the ball infield towards Fabinho. Fabinho now through to Sturridge, who's passed back to Lovren. Eventually reaches its target. Lovren again. Milner is about to come on for Liverpool. That'll be the final change that Jurgen Klopp makes. Salah is off the field after being caught by Dubravka, the goalkeeper. Here is Fabinho out to the right hand side to Alexander-Arnold. The score is 2-2, deep into this match on this Saturday night here. Van Dijk back to Henderson. Henderson looks up, begins to bring the ball forward, plays it square to Fabinho, who has to go back to Van Dijk again. Van Dijk now back out to Lovren over on the far side. Lovren with less than 10 minutes to play, in fact 8 minutes plus added time to go here. And Sturridge now challenging for the ball, but he gets a touch on it. It's out of play for a Newcastle throw. Milner coming on for Lovren, Mark.
Yeah, I think actually might be a free kick, I think, against Sturridge. Yeah, well, you've got to gamble. I said before, you know, when there was 20 minutes to go, this is Liverpool's season here.
So it's going to be a three-man back line for Liverpool, or in fact, I think Fabinho's dropping back in there, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Milner will take over.
Come from midfield.
Yeah.
Let the two full-backs bomb on as normal.
We have now had, what have we got? 7 minutes, less than 7 minutes to play. Here's Atsu now. Atsu into the penalty area on the left. He just waits, delays, crosses, takes a deflection off Van Dijk, and Alisson's able to come forward and pick up the bouncing ball in front of Van Dijk and give it out quickly. And now Liverpool, Robertson to Henderson. Henderson looking for Origi. Henderson's ball down the flank. Origi on his right foot, cuts back onto it. Here's the cross. Dummett gets his head to it ahead of Mane and heads it up and wide and behind for a Liverpool corner from the left.
Yeah, nice ball in from Origi, but great defending from Dummett. He realised he was the last man and he had to make contact with the ball.
Corner to Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold is quickly across to take this. Shaqiri is there as well. Newcastle's one of Rafa Benitez's assistants, Mikel Antia, is virtually on the pitch. Well, yeah. He is on the pitch.
He's a set piece man. He tells everybody who and where they should be marking.
Shaqiri to take the corner for Liverpool from the left. Here it is, an out swinger, diving header away by Dummett, who got there first ahead of anyone in a red shirt. And Henderson actually plays the ball all the way back to Alisson, halfway inside the Liverpool half. We have just over 5 minutes to play. Milner's ball forward. It's 2-2 here at St James's Park. Fabinho tries to prod it forward. It bounces off Ritchie. Fabinho still goes down after the challenge from Ritchie. and it's a free kick to Liverpool.
Silly free kick to concede for Richie.
Lines are open for 606 with Mark Lawrenson, who's here at St James's Park, and Jason Mohammed back in the 5 Live studio. Lines open 08085 909 693, and during that hour as well we'll bring you live interviews from down in the tunnel. Free kick for Liverpool that Alexander Arnold is going across to take. Shaqiri is there as well, but I think it will be Alexander Arnold. So Van Dijk has come up. He is next to Fabinho. Van Dijk is directing operations. Van Dijk is actually signalling back out towards the far side. I think he's indicating that he wants Shaqiri to take it. So Shaqiri is over there now as well. Alexander Arnold runs away. Shaqiri with a delivery. Origi with a header! It's in! Liverpool have scored, and it's Origi! They're back in front in the last 5 minutes of the game. Origi, the man who came up with the goal against Everton late in the match, has made another crucial contribution to Liverpool's title push here. It's Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 3.
Yeah, and he made a great leap, Origi, against his marker, and just got enough on it in terms of loads of pace on the ball, curling in towards the goal, just helped it into the far corner. But I have to say, John, I don't think Newcastle needed 2 men in the wall. It was way out wide. It was a strange thing, and I just wonder whether numerically they didn't have enough people in there.
And you have to give credit to it seemed to me that Van Dijk was ordering Shaqiri to take the set piece, and he swung it in 6 yards out, and Origi got up, just a little glance off the top of his head. He was up there, with a touch.
Was it Origi?
Well, I think he got a touch onto the head of Lascelles,
yes,
and into the net. I mean, as the ball is fired forward for Newcastle, Robertson heads it away on the edge of the box. I think his hair touched the ball. He's got, quite long floppy dreadlocks, Origi.
Definitely the last one that came off Lascelles.
Yeah. But I think that will go down as Origi's goal.
Yes.
Came off him, hit the top of Lascelles and flew into the net. So Newcastle 2, Liverpool 3, and Liverpool are back on course for victory. It would be an 8th Premier League win in a row. So these two sides would, Manchester City and Liverpool in the Premier League, would continue to go win for win against each other. And Liverpool are ahead for the 3rd time in the match here.
Just recap, Fabinho is now playing in the back 4.
Newcastle crossing, Richie, it's gone a long way. Manquillo has arrived in the full-back position, crosses it via a deflection, and it's caught by Alisson. And now Liverpool supporters are looking to the clock, and there are 3 minutes to go, but there must be 6 minutes, 7 minutes of added time.
I think probably got 10 minutes left, but Liverpool just need to manage the game now.
They've had a real test here. They've never been behind, which has been crucial for them too. Shaqiri, important contribution from the little man Shaqiri with that free kick, long to the edge of the area, headed away by Manquillo, comes out for Sturridge, he nods it down. Robertson now back to Sturridge again, and then Sturridge back into the centre circle to Milner.
Some of the Newcastle players struggling to get back now.
Van Dijk inside his own half. This is why Liverpool need the composure and the presence of mind just to keep calm. Alexander Arnold forward with a long pass, that's intercepted by Dummett. He goes long and forward towards Rondon, who wins the header against Fabinho, but it will bounce down for Henderson to hook it away over his head. Sturridge takes it down in the centre circle and gives it back to Robertson, and Robertson now driving forward, and Mane is available on the left hand side. Been quite quiet in the game. Sadio Mane had a chance in the first half that was saved by Dubravka. This is what it's like trying to win championship titles, isn't it? They've lost Firmino, lost Salah during the course of the game. They've got Origi on there and Sturridge on there, who've just really been fringe figures this season, and Shaqiri. But Shaqiri and Origi combined for that goal that put Liverpool back in front.
I mean, it's dead simple, but it is all about winning. You get in different situations over the course of the season, and you just have to manage those situations.
We have been tipped the wink that there will be 8 minutes of added time. Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 3. 606 to come. 08085 909 693. And Newcastle are going to make a change now, and it's the Japanese striker Yoshinori Muto who's going to come on. This is Rafa Benitez's first change. So 08085 909 693 to get involved in 606, and it's Cher who's coming off, the central defender.
He's limping as well, I think.
Yeah, he is. On social media, hashtag BBC 606 to get involved. And you can text on 85058. Match of the day tonight, 10:25 BBC One and 8:35 in the morning. There's every chance that this match will be first one on tonight, I would say. Jermaine Genius and Danny Murphy with Gary Lineker on the programme. Newcastle 3-2 down. And it looks as though if they can hang on, Liverpool will be going 2 points clear again. Liverpool would have one match to play, and City would have Leicester on Monday night and then away at Brighton. Liverpool's final match at Anfield against Wolves on the final Sunday. And indeed, if they hang on, if they win the game, indeed, were they to draw the game, it would mean that this title race will go to the final Sunday. Sturridge playing the ball back into his own half to Van Dijk, who, under pressure from Rondon, plays it across to Fabinho. So we're into the 8 minutes of added time now, after that substitution. And Muto, Newcastle's number 13, is onto the field as Liverpool play it forward. Henderson to Sturridge on the left-hand side. Sturridge into Robertson. Robertson pulls it across, but Ritchie is there. There was no one in a red shirt. It was behind Origi, and Ritchie plays the ball away centrally and very nearly gave it away. Perez, touch fouled by Milner. Referee says play on, because Newcastle are on the attack. Could be a good advantage, although Atsu's running himself into trouble. Somehow he kept the ball, and now Milner in with another challenge on Atsu through the middle, and Milner took him out. Yellow card, Milner. Free kick, Newcastle 30 yards out.
Yeah, old hand just decided to deal with Atsu in full flight.
Well, on Wednesday night in Barcelona, from round about here, Lionel Messi did something very special.
There's one for you. What if Liverpool had no wall the other night?
Yeah, that has been discussed.
So the goalkeeper can see, he stands in the middle of the goal. He's not got as far to cover right or left.
I think Rondon fancies this. Ritchie's there as well. So's Key.
Try telling Rondon he's not taking it.
Key looks at Rondon. Rondon looks at Key.
And Key walks
away. Newcastle 2, Liverpool 3. Manchester City fans everywhere willing Rondon to do a Messi.
Clever from Liverpool. They've got all the big boys in the wall, haven't they?
Although Shaqiri's just joined it.
Oh yeah, maybe not that clever.
Rondon waiting to take this. Huge moments. Up comes Rondon, and it hits the top of the wall. Van Dijk got up high, caught him in the face actually, and he stands with his hands on his head, and Liverpool clear it away. Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool with 3 minutes of the 8 played. Liverpool win it back on the halfway line. Newcastle fans wanting a free kick. They felt Rondon was fouled. Shaqiri bringing it forward. Shaqiri hits it straight into Manquillo on the edge of the penalty area. And now Hayden to the left-hand side. Rondon's gone with a ball downfield, but the offside flag against Perez, and Liverpool with a free kick. And we have now played 3.5 minutes of the 8 of added time.
Yeah. From Liverpool's point of view, they just need to slow this game down now. They don't need to score another goal.
So Liverpool currently going to 94 points. Manchester City would have 92. So you can work out yourself from that, if Manchester City weren't able to win against Leicester on Monday night at the Etihad Stadium, it would be back in Liverpool's hands. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No,
Liverpool have still got to see this out yet.
Yeah.
They lead 3-2. Alisson is clearing the ball. Long downfield. Origi, scorer perhaps of the winning goal, heads it forward, and it is out of play. Shaqiri couldn't keep it in. Goal kick to Newcastle. We've had now 4.5 minutes of the 8 of added time. 6:06 on the way with Jason, Mohamed and Mark. Dubravka passes it out. Jurgen Klopp looking quite tense. Now takes a step out of his coaching area. Ritchie blasts a ball long downfield, and Allison, rather like a rugby union fullback, backs away and catches the ball in his midriff.
All he needed to do was make a mark, wasn't it?
It was, but he underarms it out to Robertson. Robertson falls as he passes the ball straight to Lascelles, and now Key back to Lascelles, who turns it back to his goalkeeper.
Why?
Newcastle 3-2 down. If they want to win this game, they've got to send it forward. Back to Lascelles, and that is a high one through the middle. Rondon beaten by Van Dijk, who claims that he was fouled by Rondon. However, Van Dijk's header found Mane. Here's Origi again on the left-hand side. Origi just holds the ball, holds it, plays it back to Robertson, who passes it forward, but it was from behind the line, and Klopp is absolutely furious with Origi for passing it off the field.
Completely mullered him.
Gerd Muller.
Yeah.
Manquillo with the throw.
And now Origi's in no man's land. He's doing nothing.
Newcastle 2, Liverpool 3. Closing stages here at St James's Park. Rondon plays the ball forward. Came off Robertson, and that's a cheap corner. I think he was looking to find the throw-in, Rondon, but it hit Robertson, just glanced him and bounced away through for a corner.
Keeper's asking to come up.
Corner to Newcastle. Perez at the back post. Rondon is there. Newcastle with lots of black and white shirts inside the Liverpool box. Key takes the corner towards the back post, looking for Lascelles. Van Dijk heads it up in the air. Allison comes, he punches it, got a right hook to it, and he cleared the penalty area. Good punch from the Liverpool goalkeeper. Ritchie though wins it back, now lifts it forward. Van Dijk went there. Might have been a push from Alexander-Arnold actually on Muto, who's challenging for the ball. The referee ignores whatever claims there were, mainly from the crowd. Dummett heads the ball forward for Newcastle. Milner fires it back towards the halfway line. Comes off Lascelles, kept in by Atsu on the far side. Newcastle back into their own half. Liverpool are edging this 3-2, but Newcastle come again. We are 6 minutes into added time. It's headed on by Rondon.
Wow.
The referee says Rondon fouled his man, and it's a free kick to Liverpool. Hayden protests. Rondon's laughing about the decision, but it's a free kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, I think it was Van Dijk, wasn't it? Just nudged him out of the way.
Not sure.
No.
Do you know, I have a feeling that Van Dijk earlier, when he was challenged by Rondon, had a lot to say about it, and might have just won that free kick by his earlier reaction to the previous challenge from Rondon.
Possibly.
Just a few moments ago. We're in the 8th minute of added time. Liverpool are nearly there, but what a struggle it's been.
It's been an exhilarating game though.
It has. Allison long and forward through the middle for Liverpool. Dummett heads it down. Ritchie clears it. They've never been behind though, Liverpool, in this game.
No.
And indeed, neither Manchester City nor Liverpool have been behind in a Premier League game since Liverpool fell behind at Southampton, April the 5th. Here is Perez. He's given it away to Origi, and Origi wraps his foot around it and hits it downfield. We've had 8 minutes now. It's all down to Andre Mariner. How much more time that he'll add on. Liverpool are nearly there, but Newcastle coming forward. Key with a high pass to Manquillo on the right-hand side. This is probably the last attack of the game. It's played in by Lascelles. It's headed away by Van Dijk. And the final whistle goes, and Liverpool have seen out the victory. And Liverpool players, Henderson, once as Sunderland, looks to the heavens above St James's Park. And Liverpool players, Alexander-Arnold puts his hands on his head. And now the players go to one another. They've won it. They've won it. They were pushed all the way by Rafa Benitez's Newcastle, but it is for Liverpool an 8th consecutive Premier League win, and again they edge ahead of Manchester City at the top of the Premier League table. Liverpool 94 points, Manchester City 92. Liverpool have 1 to play, City have 2 left.
Wow, take a breath. Let's credit Newcastle. Obviously down on 3 occasions, worked very, very hard to come back, and really seriously gave Liverpool a very, very good game in the second half. I do think overall that Liverpool deserved to win, but they were sketchy at best in the second half, and it would appear long periods of time in the second half, John, it didn't look like Liverpool might be able to pinch that all-important winning goal. Good substitution by the manager, good attack of the ball by Origi, and obviously another big goal as far as he's concerned in trying to help Liverpool towards this title.
We can see the relief now, Mark. Jurgen Klopp has gone out there and the Newcastle players are moving away. I see Jurgen Klopp actually goes across to Rondon. I think he might have said to Salomon Rondon, you very nearly put the wind up me with that goal, or words to that effect.
Sure.
And now Klopp is going around his Liverpool players. He runs across, trots across to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who created another couple of goals for Liverpool, the first couple. And now they're all now moving towards the Leazes end to our left. The Liverpool fans with their flags and banners and scarves held high. They're still in it. They're still in it. For a time in this game when it was 2-2, it seemed that City would become big favourites. But
Henderson was clapping the crowd behind the goal away to our left. I presume thinking it was the Liverpool fans. But they're way over there in the top left-hand corner. So imagine the abuse he will have been getting from the Geordies behind that goal.
I think the Mackem knows enough about St James's Park to know where everyone is, Mark. Yeah. But his captain, Jurgen Klopp, now gets a big German arm around his neck. And the players, still applauding, begin to walk off the field here. So quite a match.
Yeah, very, very good, exhilarating match. And the Newcastle guys, I presume, must be doing some kind of lap of honour, won't they?
Yeah, final match of the season. Yeah, after what is their 10th home Premier League defeat of the season. That's not happened to Newcastle in the top flight for 30 years, but they pushed Liverpool all the way. Liverpool never behind. Van Dijk, Salah and Origi scoring the goals, Atsu and Rondon for Newcastle. And really crucially, after the loss of Salah, those two bit part men, Shaqiri and Origi, combining for the goal that eventually won it for Liverpool. And now we know that this Premier League title race between Liverpool and Manchester City will go down to the final Sunday after Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 3.